Hello, everyone. Thank you for signing on to today's Amtrak Vacations presentation on the National Parks by Rail. National Parks is something that Amtrak Vacations does especially well. And so I'm excited to have all you folks here sitting on the presentation with me today. Let's jump right in, folks. Popping up onto your screen now, here I am, your business development executive, Jared Kettinger. Now, I recognize by my picture, I look a little youthful. I look a little young. Believe it or not, I've actually been with Amtrak Vacations for going on 7 years now. And so, if any of you folks have any questions, don't hesitate to type them into the questions box on the side of the GoToWebinar platform. I'll answer any and all questions at the end of the presentation today. So, don't hesitate to start typing them in whenever you want. Folks, I do need to highlight that on the side of the GoToWebinar platform, there's also a handouts page. Just drop it down. You'll see the Amtrak Vacation Special Offers flyer, as well as a flyer highlighting how to customize some of our itineraries, or all of our itineraries, or creating brand new itineraries out of thin air for your special requests. We are capable of all of it. Coming up now is a listing of the Yankee Leisure Group family of brands. We have Amtrak Vacations, the brand that we're going to highlight predominantly today. One of our smaller brands, Yankee Holidays. And then with Rail Bookers, just basically think of Rail Bookers as the European version or international version of Amtrak Vacations. Simple as that, easy to remember. We'll move on from there. Popping up onto your screen now is the Amtrak Vacations system map. Everywhere you folks are seeing a colorful line on the map, that's a train route that Amtrak travels on. Simple as that. Everywhere you're seeing a dark blue or navy blue dot, that's a destination that Amtrak Vacations goes to where we have the packages for. So the packages include the hotels, and we have a menu of options of hotels in the major US and Canadian cities. And then, of course, can do the lodging at the national parks. As you can see, Glacier National Park's listed, the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, all those options and beyond. We incorporate the sightseeing along with the hotels and the train travel to create a full volumed package. Now, I'm guessing that many of you might actually also not want to just travel in the United States, but maybe in Canada as well. Did any of you know, and feel free to answer by typing yes or no into the questions box on the side of the GoToWebinar panel, did any of you know that Amtrak Vacations can do Canada as well? Yes or no? Okay, I'm getting about 50% no and 50% yes. You know what I like about that? Is that for the people that are yes, they might have probably attended a webinar before, seen our website. For the no's, you're learning something new. So, all a good thing. We crossed the border up into Montreal, Niagara Falls, Toronto, and Vancouver. But best news is that we are not solely going to those destinations. We can even do cross Canada via rail packages or trips up into the Canadian Rockies, which would say is that's pretty good news for everybody. The Canadian Rockies themselves, beautiful. Eastern Canada, multicultural. Western Canada, right on the water, can handle all the above. Now, what makes Amtrak Vacations different? Number one, it's a bucket list experience. I can't tell you how many of our past travelers said that the number one reason they traveled with us in the first place was that it was a great opportunity to check an item off of their bucket list. Does anyone here on the presentation have a travel bucket list that you want to accomplish? Yes or no? Yep, yes is coming right in. Well, let's help you accomplish that. That's our job here. Freedom and flexibility. We can customize or tailor make any of our itineraries to fit your particular travel needs. And I'll elaborate on that in a moment. Hassle free. Hassle free because all you have to do to book is give us a call at 1 800 268 7252. Simple as that. We have folks waiting on the line for your call, and the phone number is at the bottom of the screen. Jot it down, folks. We're the official tour operator for Amtrak. What does that mean? Well, out of anyone in the world, we're the only ones that can say we are stamped Amtrak's approval tour operator or vacation partner. Simple as that. We do city to city service. We travel from downtown city to downtown city all throughout the USA and Canada. In fact, there are over 500 different stations for you to choose from. So, folks, later on in this presentation, when I go over some of our itineraries, you might see them coming out of Chicago or Los Angeles or a particular point on the map. That does not mean that's the only place it can come out of. We have over 500 different stations for you to select to go through. And then we have a little something for everyone. Basically, whether it's finalizing a goal by going to a destination that on your travel bucket list you've always wanted to go to, or seeing the country from the window of the train, whether it's the mountains, whether it's the ocean, the lakes, wherever it may be, or just one moment during the duration of the trip that makes it worth it while for the whole trip. A little something for everyone. Now, all of our rail vacations are customizable, such as starting from the traveler's hometown. And what does customize mean? That's a big word. Well, we're going to go over in a moment the Rails to the Grand Canyon itinerary, which you'll see includes 2 nights on board the train, going from Los Angeles down to Arizona and back, and 2 nights at the south rim of the Grand Canyon. But imagine you would like to extend the time to do extra nights there. You'll see that is an option. We can always extend or upgrade the property once you extend the nights, or even add a whole different itinerary, such as the Los Angeles getaway, to the original itinerary to create your own customized vacation, such as the Glacier National Park getaway. Glacier Park is one of our top selling destinations. Now, we highly advise doing at least 3 nights hotel accommodations, as you can see dictated in the slide here. The reason why is that during those 3 nights, or 4 days, 3 nights, however you want to refer to it as, you are going to have included the Big Sky Circle Tour, which is a fully guided tour of the park done on the historic red buses that'll travel up going the Sun Road, down St. Mary Valley, with plenty of wildlife viewing, plenty of opportunities to get out into nature, see the many glaciers, the many mountains, the many lakes, the much of the wildlife, the natural wildlife and fauna in the area that makes Glacier National Park so unique. We also include the Two Medicine Valley Boat Cruise, a very scenic, serene cruise out onto Two Medicine Valley Lake that'll travel on around 45 minutes, and you can opt into a free National Park Ranger led hike along the way. So the boat cruise will include that. You actually don't have to tell us in advance. You can choose the day of to do the cruise, whether to do the hike off the cruise rather, whether you want to or not. And we do include one meal, a dinner included at the park lodge. So I mentioned before the Rails to the Grand Canyon itinerary. You can see it a little bit more in depth here on the map. This itinerary, this agenda, as you can see, starts from Los Angeles. You can see the little green dot. With the red arrow indicates one overnight on board the train down to historic Route 66, Williams, Arizona. From there, you'll disembark the train and actually board another train, the Grand Canyon Railway, as its name would be very appropriate, to go from Williams into the south rim of the canyon. So you travel through the beautiful desert and ponderosa forests going into the south rim of the canyon for a 2-night stay at the Grand Canyon with plenty of sightseeing. After the 2-night stay, you'll board the Grand Canyon Railway again, going back to Williams, have a dinner in Williams, and actually that same evening board the train overnight to go back to Los Angeles. So you can see, as I indicated, the 2 nights on board the train, the two ones in the red arrow, with the 2 nights in the Grand Canyon. But as I elaborated before, we can customize the itinerary. So you may want to add extra nights at the South Rim. You may want to upgrade the accommodations on either the Amtrak train or the Grand Canyon Railway because there are different levels. You may even want to upgrade your property at the South Rim. It's totally up to you. Along the way, you will be traveling on the Southwest Chief, which will take in views of the Red Rocks, canyon views, and desert landscape all along the way. In fact, the Southwest Chief is regularly voted the number 4 most scenic railroad on the Amtrak system. You will spend a 2 night stay in the Grand Canyon with a tour of the Grand Canyon, as you can see identified in the picture here. And this is one of the many overlooked points of the Grand Canyon that you will get to snap a photo of. And another great shot of the Grand Canyon that you will get to experience along the tour. Next up, we have the Grand National Parks of the Southwest. This package has grown in sales, just so you folks know, about 40% year over year. Is brand new last year and then shot right up to the top. So if you were trying to hit the 5 Utah national parks, seeing many advertisements on the TV and in magazines, I know Utah has been driving a big push for these parks. This is the way to do it. Indicated 2 overnights on board the train. Again, look at the red arrows, see the number ones. Each number one indicates an overnight on board the train. You will be traveling on the California Zephyr, which is the number 1 most scenic railroad on the Amtrak system. The reason why: you travel through the heartland of the country and then through the beautiful Rocky Mountains out in Colorado, heading out to Grand Junction, where you'll do a 1 night stay in Grand Junction. The next day, you'll wake up and at your hotel, you will have waiting for you that next morning a driver who is going to be your private guide service for the next few days with a private luxury SUV that will travel through Arches and Canyonlands on day 1, heading out to Springdale, Utah, for a 1 night stay in Springdale, which is a very quaint southwestern town all around the Red Rocks. They just basically encompass the town. The next day, you'll have a full day tour through Zion National Park, retiring back to Springdale for a second night at the end of the day, and then going out through Bryce Canyon and Capitol Reef National Park on the way back to Grand Junction for a 1 night stay in Grand Junction before, like I said, traveling overnight back to Chicago. As I mentioned before, the California Zephyr, the route that you'll be traveling back and forth on this trip, is the number 1 most scenic railroad on the Amtrak system. As you can see from the background of this picture, why people want to travel through it: because it goes through the beautiful mountain ranges. You'll head out to Arches National Park. So you'll do a full day tour on day 1 of your Utah National Park experience through Arches and Canyonlands. Head out to Zion for a full day tour through Zion National Park. And then on the way back, go through Bryce Canyon and Capitol Reef National Park, heading back to Grand Junction. So that, folks, is the Grand National Parks of the Southwest. Anybody excited by the opportunity on this itinerary? You get included private guided tours through the parks with the same guy driving you, guy or girl, I should say, day after day. And you will get to go to the 5 Utah national parks all in one. And I'm getting a couple of people saying, yes, I want to do this. Oh, that sounds exciting. So thank you, folks. We're very happy to send you out there. Next up, we have the Grand National Parks with Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon all packaged together. Sound interesting? Well, you get quite a bit on this tour. Again, you get to go on the number one most scenic rail route on the Amtrak system, the California Zephyr, on its full run overnight from Chicago to Salt Lake City, and then finishing the route overnight from Salt Lake City to San Francisco, a visit to Salt Lake City, and then a transfer up into Yellowstone for a 2 night stay in Yellowstone with a fully guided tour of the park. After heading up to Yellowstone and going overnight to San Francisco, you get 2 nights in San Francisco with a full day tour to Yosemite, then transferring on the Coast Starlight, which is regularly voted the number two most scenic rail route on the Amtrak system, down to Los Angeles for a 1 night stay in Los Angeles, traveling overnight out to Williams to do the Grand Canyon area for 1 night in Williams, 1 night in the Grand Canyon, and then the Southwest Chief back to Chicago. Folks, here you can see the Coast Starlight as it's heading up and down the coast of California. You can see the Pacific coastline kind of edging out at the top right-hand corner of the screen, but you will be getting much, much more scenic coastline along the trip itself. The Southwest Chief heading out to take in the red rocks, the canyon views, the desert landscape. You'll get to visit Salt Lake City with dinner at the Roof Restaurant, which is one of the most popular restaurants in Salt Lake City. And as you can see, you are just completely surrounded by the mountains. One of the benefits of the Roof, it's on the 10th floor of the Joseph Smith Memorial Building. So you will get a great view of the encircling mountains as you sit down for dinner. A trip up to Yellowstone to see the many geothermal features of Yellowstone, the great hot springs, Old Faithful Geyser, much of the wildlife in the park. You'll head out to San Francisco, where we include a tour of the Bay City and a couple of nights stay there, with a full day tour to Yosemite National Park, where you can see the giant fir trees, you can see the waterfalls as depicted in the slide, El Capitan, much of wildlife, as well as you're given 3 hours to explore the park on your own. So you get both a guided tour of the park as well as time to explore the park independently as well before being delivered back to San Francisco at the end of the day. You'll head down to Los Angeles to do a hop-on, hop-off tour, those guided double-decker tours of the city. And then out to visit the Grand Canyon, which we do round-trip service on the Grand Canyon Railway, and a motor coach freedom tour of the South Rim as well. That, folks, is the Grand National Parks with Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon. And in the picture, you can see the Grand Prismatic Spring with its beautiful deep blue, then green, then yellow, then orange and red hues that make the hot spring so unique. As mentioned before, in each of the destinations, mostly the major US and Canadian cities, we have different levels of hotel options to fit your needs at 3, 4, 5-star levels. One of the benefits of it is that you can actually select in the different cities whether you want a 3-star or a 4-star or 5-star. You can actually switch it up. So if in particular in one city you want to stay in one hotel that might be nostalgic or it might be a place you've always wanted to stay, but in another destination you want to save some money by going to a 3-star property, we can do that and switch them out independently for you. We always get questions. In fact, I've already seen questions pop up on the questions box on packing for the train. How much luggage are you allowed to take? You're allowed to bring 2 free carry-ons of up to 50 pounds each, 2 check bags of up to 50 pounds each. That's also at an additional no cost. And luggage can be checked up to 45 minutes to an hour ahead of time. In fact, that is when we normally suggest getting to the train station. So we suggest getting there again 45 minutes to an hour ahead of time. It's not like the airlines where you have to get to the airport an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours if you're going internationally. You can get there 45 minutes to an hour ahead of time and still comfortably board the train. Accommodations on the train. The first level of which is the coach accommodations, which are two big plush, comfy seats that recline at a 45-degree angle with a leg rest that'll kick up, a tray table that will fold down, outlets to charge devices in, plenty of room above head for your luggage to store everything, a big picture window that is the standard of Amtrak to enjoy all the sights out of. But the key here I want to point out is the plenty of legroom. It's not like the airlines where you are squished in. You basically have to bounce over somebody to get out of the seat if you're in the middle or the window seat. With this, you can simply stand up, walk out, and there's plenty of legroom to move around. Next up, we have the sleeper roomette. You can see what's included there, detailed, but it's its own private cabin on the train with two big plush seats that face each other, a nice big picture window to enjoy the sights out of. You have the tray table that will fold down for snacks, laptop, what have you. At night, everything folds down to bunk style sleeping, and the meals are included. Now, you're probably looking at the picture and saying, I don't see a bathroom in this room. That's true. The bathrooms are down the hall for only those in that roomette car to have access to. However, if you wanted your own private bathroom and shower in the cabin, the top of the line sleeper is the bedroom, which has a long couch, a big captain's chair, the standard picture window for all the sightseeing from the window of the train. You can see depicted that everything's folded down for the tray table. Everything by the diagram still indicates that it's bunk style sleeping, but you have your own private bathroom and shower in the room itself. Dining on the train is included whenever you have a sleeper compartment, so all the meals are automatically factored into the pricing. You get a full menu to choose from. The meals are cooked to order. The food is delicious. It's basically like a restaurant experience traveling on the train. And one of the benefits is depending on where you're going, traveling through the mountains, along the Pacific coastline, through the forests, you're going to be having your meals with the scenery unfolding all around you. Discounts, everyday discounts. Children aged 2 to 12 receive 50% off, half off, the rail ticket, the base rail ticket of the Amtrak package. Seniors 65 and over receive a 10% discount off the rail portion, the rail ticket, the base ticket of the Amtrak package. And then any active military personnel, spouses, and dependents will also receive a 10% discount off the rail portion of the Amtrak ticket. Now, do we have any veterans here on the presentation today? Yes or no? All right, I see some yeses coming in. Oh, good couple of yeses. Let me ask you folks, can I ask you, what branch of the military did you serve in? All right, we got multiple Army, Navy, multiple Navy, Air Force, more Army. Well, folks, I want to let you know that even though this slide says active military or active duty military personnel, it should also say and veterans. So we are sending the 10% discount now and sending it to all the veterans. You do not have to be a part of a Veterans Advantage program anymore. You can simply just tell us that you are a veteran and we will apply the discount. Now, just a reminder, download the free handouts on the side of the GoToWebinar platform. We have the Amtrak Vacations special offers and how to customize. So we have different options for you to select. Question for you, because I'm going to start answering your questions. What rail vacations are you interested in? Where would you like to go? When would you like to go? Let us know. Type the answer into this question on the side of the go-to webinar. Okay, so we already have Glacier, Yellowstone, Yosemite, Canada multiple times I'm seeing up here. Traveling out to the Grand Canyon, coast to coast, going out to across Canada and the United States. Glacier Park, Vegas, the Grand National Parks. I'm assuming that's the package that I put up there for you. Pacific Coast Highway. Well, we travel along the Pacific Coast Highway. Someone's saying they want to go to Glacier, but by way not of Chicago, but St. Paul. That's not a problem. We can go from St. Paul, Minneapolis. Someone's asking, can we book 2021 now? Absolutely. Glacier, Grand Tetons, Chicago to Seattle and back, August. We've already done Chicago to San Francisco. Rail and sales, excellent. More Chicago to San Francisco. Miami going coast to coast. That's excellent, folks. Thank you for responding. Keep responding. Canada with fall colors. I highly suggest that. Save big with our special offers. Round trip rail deals. Seattle on sale. Glacier National Park Express. Charleston, Savannah. Love those areas. Washington, D.C. on sale. And the Grand National Parks is going on sale as well. All right. Thank you, folks, for joining us. At this point, I'm going to try and start answering some of your questions. And I promise you, folks, if I don't answer every question, feel free to call into our call center, talk with one of our friendly vacation consultants, and then they will be able to answer any questions that I didn't get to ahead of time. Someone's asking, can I travel out of Sacramento to Charlotte? So Sacramento, California to Charlotte, North Carolina. Absolutely. There's over 500 different stations to choose from. Those two are included within that. Our prices per person. Yes, the pricing you're seeing on the slides on our website, in our brochures, are priced out per person based on a double occupancy. Do we have tours or itineraries that leave from the East Coast area? Yes, we do. Again, we have over 500 different stations to select from, many of which, a lot of which, in fact, are on the East Coast. Does the trips include transportation from the train station to the hotel? Most of them do not. The reason for that is because the train stations are in the downtown areas of the city, and it's easy to get transportation, cabs, Uber, Lyft services from the train station to the hotels, where normally if we did a private sedan transfer, it would cost several $100s, which would be kind of a waste because most of the hotels that we work with are very close to the train station, so you'd be spending an extra amount of money for limited services. What national parks can connect from Sacramento, California? Basically, whatever national park you saw on the map earlier in the presentation, we can go from over 500 different stations, including Sacramento. Someone asked, are kids charged the same as adults? As you saw by one of the last slides in the presentation, kids get a discount on the rail. Normally, they do also get a discount in other areas as well. So the pricing isn't exactly apples to apples, kids and adults. Someone's asking additionally, can they do the Grand National Parks from San Antonio? Again, when there's over 500 different stations to choose from, San Antonio being one of them, absolutely. Is Chicago the starting base for all tours? No, it is not. We have multiple stations to travel from, 500. You can go from them. Chicago is just a major hub of Amtrak, and so a lot of our packages are designed from there, but they don't all have to be. Is Wi-Fi included on the train? There are many trains with Wi-Fi, mostly regional at this point, though we are expecting to expand them. However, they are not on all the trains because when you're traveling through the heart of the forest, heart of the desert, heart of the mountains, there isn't always the best Wi-Fi service, but you are seeing some of the best sights to see. I always get the question whenever I present the slide with the discounts, can you provide discounts combined for military and senior? It does have to be one or the other. Already answered, but just to reiterate, we can book for 2021 now. I did get that question. Someone asked, what do we have for winter months? Well, we have quite a bit. If you're talking West Coast, if you're talking national parks in the West, then there are a lot of options open. Even in the winter months, going to the major cities might be a little cold. I can tell you we're up here in Boston and the weather's been changing all sorts, but most of our itineraries travel year round. So wherever you want to go in winter, just let us know. We have someone saying they want to take the grandkids to California or Oregon. That sounds good to me. Someone's asking how good are the rail trips for senior travelers? Well, the majority of our passengers tend to be seniors, so all very well done. Someone's asking how to apply the round trip discount coupon. That's a very good question, as I just showed the slide. Basically, you're going to want to call in, give us a call at 1-800-268-7252 or contact your local travel advisor and have them do just the same thing. And just let them know that you are looking to do the round trip discount or aiming for that. And our call center advisors will be able to put that down for you. Simple as that. Someone's asking if we do group itineraries. Unfortunately, we do not do groups based as we are. Our group potentiality isn't great. As for sending a senior on a trip, we line everything up ahead of time, so we make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. And again, the good amount of our passengers are senior travelers, so it's something that is done every day. Seniors with mobility issues do travel on our train day in and day out. So someone's asking, can you combine the sale prices as seen on the slide with senior discounts? Yes, we can, because the senior discount will be applied to the rail, and then the sale price will be applied to the package. So absolutely. What is the best time of year for the Grand National Parks? We would say late spring, summer, early fall, depending on which Grand National Parks itinerary, because we do have multiple options. Can the tours depart from Birmingham, Alabama? Can you depart from Dallas, Fort Worth? Can you start from Minnesota? Absolutely. Again, there's over 500 different stations to choose from. Are there payment plans for trips that are going into next year, not necessarily this year? Yes. Once you put a deposit, you can pay as much as you want, you know, per month, per week. It's just whenever you call in or your travel agent calls in for you. And so yes, you can, once a solid deposit is put down, you can pay in and out each whenever you want to call in. It's simple as that. Baggage handling from the train, you do have to handle it to go from the train station to the hotel. That is on you. In the manned stations or the big metropolitan stations where there are employees, they can include luggage assistance to help you out. But once you get outside of the train station, you do have to handle it on your own. So someone's asking, if you purchase a coach seat, can you eat on the trains? On the superliners, going from the Midwest, basically Chicago Midwest area west, you can go and see about getting a reservation in the dining car. On the Viewliners, which is basically Chicago, everything east, you just purchase meals, snacks, drinks in the cafe car. Someone's asking which destinations are from Washington. Any one. Again, Washington is one of over 500 different stations to choose from. Let's see. Someone's asking for a copy of the map that we started with at the beginning of the presentation. That is simple enough. You just give us a call and we will send you a brochure which has a map on the inside cover. We'll mail it right to you. Someone's asking, is 4 adults sharing a room an option? That's a yes or no question. Yes, in a hotel room, we can get 2 beds in the room and 4 adults can share. As for in the cabin, only 2 adults can be in per cabin. Is it possible to book from El Paso to Seattle? Absolutely. That's one station of many to go from. Can 2 seniors and a child occupy the roomettes? No, a roomette is solely for 2 adults or 1 adult, 1 child. You would have to be booked into a bedroom. Someone's asking, can we book a tour but stay at parks longer than that? Absolutely. You can extend the stay as long as you want, as long as we have the availability. Pricing for solo, I don't give pricing out over the webinars other than what you see on the slides because your situation of where you're traveling from, when you're traveling from, when you're booking can be wildly different. We suggest calling a vacation consultant at 1-800-268-7252 or going through your local travel agent. Someone's asking, are the basic coach seats, in which there's really no basic coach seat. The coach seats are very plush, comfortable, easy to travel through, easy to travel with. But is that the starting from pricing in the package? Yes. Roomettes or bedrooms would be additional pricing. If you book a sleeper bedroom, are meals included? Yes, they are. Absolutely. Are tips expected and at what rate? Tips are expected, yes, in the dining car, particularly because it's like a restaurant, like a rolling restaurant. And usually it is nice to tip those that are helping out in the different apartments, your travel companions, the car attendants. I don't tell what tipping should be. That is totally up to you. That's up to your conscience. You can do that and decide how you want to tip on your own. How many people can stay in a bedroom? The bedroom is designed for 2 adults or 1 adult, small child. We can do 2 adults and a small child as long as the small child is 40 pounds or less. So you can technically fit 3 people, but again, it's 2 adults and 1 small child, 40 pounds or less. So someone's asking, is the Glacier National Park Express discount applicable to the Glacier National Park Getaway? No, that is specific where it has the title of the package, that it is specific to that package. Someone's asking, do we have the details of where to go, when to go, what you're doing on our travel documents? Yes, we do. So we provide the locations of where you're going, the best phone numbers, the details, everything that you need, we provide on the travel documents that we send out 30 days prior to departure. Folks, I realize I didn't get to everyone's question today. We had several hundred people on the presentation, so I wish I could get to every question. If you did not get your question answered, please feel free to give us a call at 1-800-268-7252. And I just want to say thank you for signing on to the presentation. Thank you, folks. I hope you have a great day.